So, you've sent us a ton of stuff on Hotel Butlers,
Right.
articles, notes, the works,
Yeah.
and it's clear you're interested in more than just like what they wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not just looking for a job description, are you?
Definitely not. This feels different.
It seems like you're intrigued by that air of mystery, you know?
It's true. You see them sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Impeccably dressed, like gliding through these grand lobbies.
Mm.
But what's their actual day-to-day really like?
Well, first we need to ditch that stereotype
What stereotype?
that their job is just like tea and turn down service.
Ah, okay, got it. So forget the silver tray. What do they actually do?
They're the ultimate orchestrators of guest experience.
Okay.
For instance, they often work directly with housekeeping,
Really?
making sure every single thing is perfect,
I never thought of that.
down to the last detail.
It's one thing to have a clean room, but to walk in and find like my favorite flowers or a note, that's different.
Exactly. Personalization.
Wow.
They don't just manage housekeeping. They give specific instructions for each guest
That's a lot of work.
based on their preferences.
Starting to see the behind the scenes stuff now.
Absolutely. Anticipating needs before they're even voiced.
Okay.
The hotel butler might be coordinating with the kitchen on dietary stuff, working with the concierge for a last-minute reservation at that impossible-to-get-into restaurant, or even arranging for a local artisan to create a personalized gift.
It's like being a personal assistant, event planner, and lifestyle guru all at once.
Yeah.
But for multiple people.
You got it. High-stakes, juggling act needs exceptional organizational skills, discretion, and a deep understanding of what luxury service really means.
Sounds kind of glamorous, Adita, completely overwhelming.
Right.
Yeah.
And that takes us to the human side of it all.
Which our sources definitely focus on. Like, it's not just logistics. It's got to be about people skills, big time.
Couldn't agree more, and this is where that pros and cons list you sent gets super interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it highlights this contrast,
Hmm.
working in these luxurious places, but with the real demands of the job.
Right. So it's like surrounded by opulence, but also dealing with, well, people,
Exactly. And all their very specific needs.
which, let's be honest, can be demanding.
For sure. Picture this.
Yeah.
A guest who insists on their caviar being served with a mother-of-pearl spoon
Oh, no.
at exactly 6:03 p.m.
Are you serious?
True story from one of your sources.
Wow. Okay, that's next level. I've never even thought about that level of detail. It makes my coffee order seem pretty tame.
You got to be part diplomat, part mind reader to handle that world.
Totally. And I'm guessing that's where the whole emotional intelligence thing comes in.
Absolutely. Our sources really emphasize those communication skills, not just for understanding requests, but for actually anticipating them.
So it's beyond, yes, sir, right away, madam. It's like you got to read between the lines, right?
Exactly. Remember that point about difficult guests?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to happen in any job where you deal with customers. But in these luxury hotels, even a tiny complaint can become a big deal fast.
That makes sense. Those guests are used to a certain standard, so even a small slip-up probably feels like a huge inconvenience.
You've got it. And that's where patience and tact come in to smooth things over.
For sure. So you're saying a hotel butler has to stay calm, cool, and collected even when someone's being totally unreasonable.
Exactly. Always focused on finding a solution.
It really is a balancing act.
It is. And it's not just guests. Remember, the sources mention the unpredictable hours, too.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, late check-ins, early departures, last-minute requests. You're on their time, not the other way around.
So forget 9 to 5.
Forget 9 to 5. Weekends, holidays, you name it, it's all fair game.
You'd have to be really dedicated to thrive in that environment.
For sure. But for the right person, someone who loves hospitality, exceeding expectations, creating those memorable moments, it can be incredibly rewarding.
I can see that.
And speaking of paths to rewards, your sources actually lay out the different stages of a hotel butler's career, from entry level all the way to the top.
Okay, so it's not like you just decide, I'm going to be a hotel butler, and poof, it happens, right?
Right. Not quite,
Mhm.
though that passion for hospitality does go a long way.
Of course.
Our sources actually lay out a pretty clear progression.
Like climbing the ladder.
Exactly. Each step comes with more responsibility, expertise,
And hopefully a bigger paycheck.
hopefully. But yeah, distinct stages.
So where do you even begin? What's the entry point for someone who's like, this sounds interesting, I want to try that?
Well, the good news is it's often more accessible than you might think.
Really?
Your sources point to those classic hospitality roles as great stepping stones,
Makes sense.
like housekeeping, front desk, maybe even working in the hotel restaurant first.
So you get a feel for the pace, the layout, and most importantly, you're interacting with guests already.
Exactly. It's all about soaking up that culture of service from the ground up.
I like that.
From there, you might become an assistant, shadow a senior butler, learn those finer points of personalized service.
An apprenticeship for mind reading, basically.
Pretty much. And the sources really emphasize this. The learning never truly ends in this field.
It makes sense. Things are always changing.
You're always attending workshops, staying updated on industry trends.
Which is where RoleCatcher comes in, right? We've mentioned it a few times.
Yeah,
But it sounds like it's more than just a job board, even for aspiring hotel butlers.
100%. Think of it as a tool for every single step of the journey. So you're looking for that entry-level position. RoleCatcher helps you zero in on opportunities that match your goals.
And if you're ready to move up.
Exactly. Their interview prep is amazing, like pure gold.
Yeah, the sources mention practice questions, tips for those tricky behavioral ones.
So helpful. Plus, let's be real, in this digital age,
Yeah, algorithms everywhere.
RoleCatcher helps you stand out.
You need every advantage you can get.
It's like having a secret weapon to make sure the right people actually see your skills.
I love that, a secret weapon. So it seems like becoming a hotel butler isn't about fitting some perfect mold.
No, not at all.
It's about having the passion, putting in the work, and always being ready to learn something new.
You got it. It's a mix of those hard skills, soft skills, handling the pressure, and never forgetting that human connection.
That's what it always comes down to.
Anticipating needs, going above and beyond, and creating those experiences that turn guests into, lifelong fans.
And you know what? Thinking about those skills, that anticipation, that attention to detail,
Yeah,
those are valuable everywhere, right?
absolutely.
Maybe we can all learn a thing or two from the world of hotel butlers, bring a little bit of that into our everyday lives.
100%. It's all connected.
It's something to think about.